the real story behind the legend of St. George and the Dragon. Welcome to Ceylonia Blue. Today we're diving into the fascinating and often misunderstood story behind one of the most celebrated legends in history, the tale of St. George and the Dragon. This story has captivated hearts and minds for centuries, but what's the real truth behind it? Let's explore. The legend of St. George dates back to the early centuries of Christianity. St. George is often depicted as a valiant knight, clad in armor, bravely facing a ferocious dragon. But where did this story originate? The roots of the legend can be traced back to a variety of cultural influences, including Roman, Greek, and Middle Eastern traditions. In many accounts, St. George was a soldier in the Roman army, known for his unwavering faith and bravery. The story truly takes shape in the town of Silene, in what is now Libya. According to legend, a terrifying dragon terrorized the town, demanding sacrifices from the townspeople. To appease the beast, they would offer a sheep, but eventually, they were forced to sacrifice their own children. One day, the king's daughter was chosen as the next sacrifice, and the townsfolk were distraught. This is where St. George enters the tale. Riding in on his noble steed, he confronted the dragon. With unwavering courage, he fought the beast and ultimately defeated it, saving the princess and the town. But the story goes deeper than just a battle between good and evil. The dragon symbolizes chaos and the struggles that every individual faces in life. St. George's victory represents the triumph of faith and virtue over these challenges. This theme resonates across cultures, making the legend of St. George relatable to many people throughout history. Interestingly, St. George was not always considered a saint. His canonization took place several centuries after his death, and he became a symbol of Christian chivalry during the Middle Ages. The tale of St. George and the Dragon was popularized through various artistic interpretations, including paintings, literature, and even songs, further solidifying his status as a legendary figure. In addition to its Christian significance, the story of St. George has also been embraced by various countries. For instance, England adopted St. George as its patron saint, and his feast day is celebrated with great fervor. The image of St. George slaying the dragon has become an emblem of bravery and honor, often depicted on flags and coats of arms. However, it's essential to recognize that the legend has evolved over time. Different cultures have their own versions of the story, with various dragons and heroes. This adaptability shows how the core message of courage and faith can transcend borders and resonate with diverse audiences. As we reflect on the legend of St. George and the Dragon, we can appreciate its rich history and the lessons it imparts. It reminds us that while we may face our own dragons in life, courage and faith can lead us to victory. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the real story behind the legend of St. George and the Dragon. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Ceylonia Blue for more captivating stories and insights. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of history.